The world of audiobook narration can be a scary thing as a brand new narrator. I get it. I've been there. But I've also gone through and completed 150 audiobooks and over 200 hours of podcasts, dramas, and story apps. So I've been where you are, and I've come a long way in the journey. So let's talk about, how do you know what type of books to audition for? Okay, so finding your next audiobook is not so scary, really. All right, so I've talked to you before about doing per finished hour books or royalty share books. There are a huge amount of opinions out there as to what you should and should not do. And I say you do what you're comfortable doing. There are lots of voice artists who totally focus on doing royalty share. And I myself tend to focus on doing the per finished hour books because I want to get them done and move on and not think about it again. But I have worked my way up into a larger per finished hour rate. There were times in my voiceover journey, my audiobook narration journey, that I did take per finished hour work. And so I do want to talk about, in my particular instance, why I did that. So I was looking for experience. At that point, it didn't matter to me really what the pay rate was. There's lots of stuff out there that I have narrated that doesn't sound too wonderful because I literally got my start in audiobook narration. So if you look back from the beginning, you can find stuff out there that's got my name attached to it that is not wonderful, and that's okay. It's part of the journey of becoming a good audiobook narrator. So what kind of per finished hour books did I look for? So I looked for short books. That's what it was about to me. For me, I didn't want to take on huge projects, and I don't recommend that you do take on huge projects. If you go on to ACX, for instance, there are thousands of books that are royalty share, and you can really get overwhelmed with a project that is just bigger than you can handle, especially when you're just getting started. Now I take on the bigger the better because I'm experienced, I know what I'm doing, and I've got myself set up on a regular daily schedule, and it's no big deal. If I would have taken on a large audiobook from the very beginning, it probably would have scared me so bad that it might have scared me right out of the business. Take it easy on yourself. Don't audition for really large books. In fact, I always say nothing more than 3 hours. So that is 30,000 words. Don't audition for anything bigger than 30,000 words. Producing a 3-hour audiobook is going to be a large amount of work for someone who is just getting started in audiobook narration and production. So that's my first tip. That was my long-winded way of saying keep your books short, 3 hours and under. So let's just take a quick look at my ACX screen. I'm going to screen share here and just show you real quick how I would find a per finished hour book. All right? All right, so I've gone to ACX, and I'm going to go to Titles Accepting Auditions. And, of course, I'm going to filter for female, and let's look for, go to compensation. Let's look for a royalty share. Let's see. Okay. So the first one here is Sexy Santas and Ugly Sweaters. All right, so that is 35,000. That's pushing it. It's almost 4 hours. Now that length wouldn't bother me, but in the beginning it really would have. Go down to the sales rank right here on the bottom right hand of the screen. The sales rank is less than 1 million, so that's okay.
I wouldn't do anything over 1 million. That is the ranking, how it's selling. You want to get books that are selling well. However, it's got 0 ratings. So it must have just been, well, let's see, date posted January 8th. Original publication is just December 20th. So it hasn't, you don't know how it's performing yet. But since it is just a new book, the next thing you could do is view the title on Amazon. So then you could start researching the author. How do her other books perform as far as sales? Has she done other audiobooks? Do they do well? If she's basically an unknown artist or unknown author, you're probably not going to see a big amount of sales from her audiobook. If she's an author who has tons of books and you can see that her other books have all sold really well, then this would probably be a book that I would audition for. All right, so let's try one more book. We'll try this, A Wild Prince. Let's see here. All right, so this is a long book, so I wouldn't recommend this for a brand new person, but for the sake of this video, if this was a shorter book, all right? The project budget here, this is interesting. So this author is willing to do a royalty share or a royalty share plus, or even a per finished hour rate. And if you look at the Amazon sales rank, it's at 168,000, which means it is really low, which is what you want. You want it closer to that top 100 sales, right? So this is doing really well as a paperback book. The rating, it's got great ratings. There's 26 of them, and they're all almost a 5-star rating, so that's great. Now, the accent is British, general British, so my American accent would not cut it for this book. But it's performing well. For somebody with a British accent, this may be a book to audition for. It was posted December 23rd, so it is really doing really well. If I had that British accent and I wanted to audition for this book, I would then, again, click the link to take me to Amazon. I would follow up by just checking out the author. I would check out a couple of her other books to see how they do. I already see that this one is doing quite well, so I would probably audition for a book like this if I wanted to do a royalty share book. So that was our deep dive into per finished hour books versus royalty share books. Which one do you prefer? You know I prefer the per finished hour. Let me know in the comments section. Royalty share or per finished hour for you? Or if you're brand new, which one are you gonna try? And if you're really looking for all the dirt on everything audiobooks, you have got to check out the Voiceover Masterclass audiobook narration course. You will love it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification icon so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos.